I'm Shivani Singh. Just when the world thought that the situation in the Red Sea couldn't get more volatile, the script has been flipped. On December 30th, 2025, the Saudi-led coalition launched limited but deadly airstrikes on the Yemeni port city of Mukalla. But here is the shocker. They weren't targeting their usual enemies, the Houthi rebels. Instead, Saudi missiles hit shipments allegedly sent by their own ally, the United Arab Emirates. Yemen has immediately declared a state of emergency and a 72-hour total lockdown of all border crossings is now in effect. Today we are asking the big question. Why is Saudi Arabia attacking its own side? To understand this, we have to look at the past headlines and into a decade of blood, oil, and broken promises. To understand today's bombs, we need to go back to 2014. Yemen's civil war began when the Houthis, a rebel backed by Iran, swept down from the north and seized the capital, Sana'a. They ousted the internationally recognized government, forcing President Hadi to flee to Saudi Arabia. In 2015, Saudi Arabia launched Operation Decisive Storm. They feared having an Iranian proxy on their southern border. They formed a coalition of 9 countries, most notably the UAE, to restore the government. But what started as a 3-week operation has dragged on for over 10 years, creating the world's worst humanitarian crisis. Let's fast forward to late 2025. The front lines between the Houthis and the Saudi-backed government have mostly frozen. But inside the territory not held by the Houthis, a new war has been brewing. Here enters the Southern Transitional Council, or the STC. These are the southern separatists. They don't want a unified Yemen. They want to go back to the pre-1990 days when South Yemen was a separate country. Now here is the twist. While Saudi Arabia backs the unified Yemeni government, the UAE actually backs the STC separatists. In the last few days of 2025, the STC launched a massive offensive seizing the Hadramaut and the Mahra governorates, areas that hold 80% of Yemen's oil and share a border with Oman and Saudi Arabia. Riyadh saw this as a red line. When 2 ships from the UAE arrived at the Mukalla port yesterday, allegedly carrying armored vehicles and heavy weapons for these separatists, Saudi Arabia didn't call for a meeting. They called in the jets. So why does a port in Yemen matter to you? The Red Sea carries 12% of all global trade. Because of Houthi attacks throughout 2024 and 2025, shipping costs have already skyrocketed. But this new infighting between Saudi Arabia and the UAE adds a terrifying new variable. If the anti-Houthi coalition collapses into a civil war within a civil war, the security of the Bab el-Mandeb Strait becomes non-existent. We are looking at a scenario where 3 different groups, the Houthis, the Saudi-backed government and the UAE-backed separatists, are all fighting for control of the coastline. For global consumers, this means more delays, higher fuel prices, and a supply chain that is permanently broken. The diplomatic fallout is already historic. Saudi Arabia's foreign ministry issued a stinging statement today, calling the UAE support for the STC extremely dangerous. Meanwhile, in Aden, the atmosphere is electric. Protesters are flying the South Yemen flag, demanding total independence. The 72-hour state of emergency means airports are closed and the flow of aid, already a trickle, has stopped. For the people of Yemen, this is a tragedy. For Saudi Arabia, it is a matter of national survival. And for the UAE, it is a play for long-term influence over the strategic ports of the Indian Ocean. As we enter 2026, the brotherhood between Riyadh and Abu Dhabi is under its greatest strain ever. The map of Yemen is being redrawn with fire and the world is holding its breath, to see if the Red Sea will remain a trade route or become a graveyard of ships and states. Thank you for watching.
For more such videos, subscribe to the Newsx YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.